Zoe's mind raced back to the day she first arrived on the station, 6 months ago. She was just a mechanic from Houston, Texas, plucked from Earth's gravity by NASA's elite program. The Orion was America's pride, orbiting Earth as a hub for international research, but to Zoe, it felt like a floating prison of protocols and hierarchies. Leah Thompson, the commander, was everything Zoe wasn't. Polished, authoritative, from a long line of military heroes. Leah's family back on Earth expected her to uphold traditions, marry well, produce heirs to the legacy. But up here in the void, those expectations warped like metal under heat. As the alarms subsided, false alert, just a sensor glitch, Zoe backed away, her cheeks burning. "Commander, that wasn't meant," she stammered, but Leah's eyes held a storm of emotions. Shock, confusion, and something deeper, perhaps recognition. The crew murmured in the background, whispers snaking through the vents like oxygen leaks. Zoe's inner voice screamed at her. "What have you done? You're not supposed to feel this way. Not for her. Not for any woman." Growing up in a conservative Texas suburb, Zoe had buried those feelings deep, dating boys to fit in, ignoring the pull toward her best friend in high school. But Leah made it impossible to ignore. Leah pulled her into a side maintenance bay, the door hissing shut behind them. "Zoe, what did you mean by that?" Leah's voice was steady, but her hands trembled slightly as she adjusted her uniform collar. Zoe's thoughts swirled. Tell her the truth? Or lie, preserve the chain of command? She opted for half-truth. "I was scared, ma'am. The alert. It made me think of losing the team." But even as she said it, guilt gnawed at her. Leah's marriage back on Earth was a sham, everyone knew it. A political alliance to her husband's family, influential in Washington. Yet Leah wore the ring like a shackle. That night, in her cramped quarters, Zoe paced, the hum of the station's life support mocking her turmoil. Why her? Why now? She replayed their interactions. Leah's hand on her shoulder during a repair briefing, the late-night strategy sessions where their knees brushed under the table. It wasn't just attraction. It was a connection that defied the isolation of space. But society down below hadn't evolved as fast as technology. NASA's diversity policies were progressive on paper, but whispers of "don't ask, don't tell" lingered from older eras. And Leah's family? Devout, traditional, they'd disown her if they knew. The next day, tension thickened like recycled air. Crewmate Marcus, a burly engineer from Florida, cornered Zoe in the galley. "Heard your little slip-up, Ramirez. Careful up here. Space is small, secrets don't stay secret." His tone was laced with judgment, a reminder of the Bible Belt values many carried from home. Zoe's stomach twisted. Is this betrayal? Exposing us both to scrutiny? She nodded curtly, but inside rage bubbled. Why should her feelings be a scandal? Leah avoided her during shifts, but in a quiet moment by the observation deck, staring at Earth's blue marble, Leah finally spoke. "Zoe, about yesterday. Felt it too. The fear. But more than that." Her voice cracked, revealing vulnerability beneath the command facade. Zoe's heart pounded. This is it, the moment of truth or ruin. They didn't touch, didn't cross lines, but the air between them crackled with unspoken promises. Yet doubt crept in. Leah's career, her family's expectations, the station's fragile harmony, all at risk. As weeks passed, their stolen glances evolved into clandestine meetings in forgotten storage pods. No physical intimacy, just words, raw, honest confessions. Leah shared her arranged marriage's emptiness, how she'd suppressed her true self for approval. "My parents see me as their legacy, Zoe. Coming out would shatter that." Zoe nodded, her own past echoing. The high school crush she denied, leading to a breakup that left her friend heartbroken. Am I repeating history? Forcing Leah into a choice? But the station wasn't isolated from Earth. Weekly video calls brought family pressures orbiting like debris. Leah's mother, via hologram, prattled about grandchildren, oblivious to the strain. Zoe watched from afar, jealousy and empathy warring inside her. She's sacrificing for them. But what about us? One night, after a grueling repair on the solar arrays, Zoe confronted her. "Leah, we can't keep pretending. This, whatever it is, it's real." Leah's eyes filled with tears. "I know. But the cost." The turning point came during a real emergency. A micrometeorite strike punctured the hull. Alarms wailed for real this time. Zoe suited up, racing to seal the breach, her mind on Leah directing from the bridge. As she welded the panel, comms crackled. "Zoe, be careful." Leah's voice laced with unspoken love. But then Marcus's voice cut in. "Commander, your concern is noted." The implication hung heavy. Post-repair, the crew gathered. Rumors had festered. Dr. Elena, the psychologist, pulled Leah aside. "Commander, morale is dipping. Personal attachments can compromise judgment." Leah's face hardened, but inside she crumbled. Am I weak for loving her? Or strong for denying it? That night she made a decision: distance. "Zoe, we have to stop. For the mission." Zoe's world shattered. Betrayal? Or self-preservation? But love doesn't obey commands. As the station prepped for a resupply shuttle, Zoe's resolve hardened. She wouldn't let go without a fight. The resupply shuttle docked with a thud that reverberated through Orion's frame, bringing fresh supplies and unwittingly fresh turmoil. Zoe watched from the airlock as crates floated in, her eyes scanning for any sign of Leah. The commander was absent, buried in reports, avoiding her, no doubt. How can she just shut it off? Zoe wondered, the ache in her chest a constant companion now, like the artificial gravity pulling her down. In the days following Leah's decree, the station felt smaller, more claustrophobic. Crew interactions turned pointed. Subtle digs from Marcus about distractions in team meetings. Zoe's performance slipped. Minor errors in diagnostics, overlooked by most but not by her. I'm losing my edge because of this. Is love worth the sabotage? She confided in no one, her inner monologue a whirlwind of self-doubt. Back home, her own family was no haven. A father who preached traditional values. A mother who urged her to settle down with a nice man. Coming out to them? Unthinkable. Leah, meanwhile, threw herself into work, her decisions sharper, more authoritarian. But alone in her quarters, she replayed Zoe's words. This is real. It is, she admitted to herself. But reality includes consequences. Her husband's face on the last video call haunted her. Polite, distant, a partnership of convenience. Divorcing him would ripple through social circles, tarnish her family's name. And up here? A lesbian commander in NASA's spotlight? The media would feast, donors would flee, her career in ruins. A new crew member arrived with the shuttle. Dr. Rebecca Hayes, a sociologist studying group dynamics in space. Sharp-eyed and perceptive, she noticed the undercurrents immediately. During a routine psych eval, she probed Zoe. Any interpersonal conflicts? Zoe hesitated, then deflected. Just the usual cabin fever. But Rebecca's gaze lingered. Does she know? Is she an ally or a threat? That evening, a station-wide dinner aimed to boost morale turned tense. Marcus raised a toast. To clear heads and focused missions. His eyes flicked to Zoe and Leah seated apart. Leah forced a smile, but Zoe seethed inwardly. He's poisoning the well. For what? Jealousy? Homophobia? After, in a quiet corridor, Zoe confronted him. What's your problem, Marcus? He smirked. My problem? You're the one mooning over the boss. It's unprofessional and unnatural. The word hit like a punch. Zoe's fists clenched. Unnatural? In a tin can hurtling through space, that's what bothers you? Word spread. Whispers evolved into outright discussions. Dr. Elena called a meeting with Leah. Commander, we need to address this. Rumors are affecting cohesion. Leah's mind raced. Deny? Confront? She chose deflection. Focus on facts, not gossip. But the damage was done. That night, Leah sought Zoe out in the hydroponics bay. Amid glowing plant lights. This is getting out of hand, Leah whispered. Zoe's eyes flashed. Because you pushed me away. We could have handled it together. Their argument escalated, voices low but intense. You don't understand the pressure. Leah shot back. My family, they'd cut me off. Zoe softened. And what about your happiness? Is legacy worth a lifetime of lies? The conflict deepened when a transmission from Earth arrived. Leah's parents, announcing a surprise virtual family gathering. Leah panicked. They expect the perfect daughter. How can I face them with this secret? Zoe, overhearing, felt a surge of protectiveness. She hacked into the comms log, not to spy but to delay the call, buying time. Is this betrayal? Or love's desperate act? When Leah discovered it, fury ignited. You had no right. But beneath the anger, gratitude flickered. Rebecca, sensing the rift, mediated subtly. In a private session with both, she shared her own story. Out and proud, but at the cost of estranged relatives. Choices hurt, but hiding hurts more. Her words planted seeds. Zoe reflected. She's right. But am I pushing Leah too hard? Leah too pondered. What if I choose her? What then? As tensions simmered, a solar flare warning hit. The station went into lockdown, shields up. In the command center, Leah and Zoe worked side by side, their synergy undeniable. When a panel shorted, Zoe fixed it swiftly, their hands brushing. In that moment, barriers cracked. Post-crisis, Leah pulled Zoe aside. I can't fight this anymore. They shared a tentative embrace. Nothing more but a promise. Yet, Marcus witnessed it, his face darkening. The betrayal came swift. Marcus filed a report to Mission Control. Compromised leadership due to personal involvement. Earth responded. Investigation pending. Leah's world tilted. He turned on us. For protocol? Or prejudice? Zoe's guilt surged. My slip started this. Am I the villain? With the shuttle's departure looming, decisions loomed larger. Leah faced a choice. Deny everything, save her career, or admit the truth, risking all. Zoe to fight for love or retreat to safety. The station's hum seemed to echo their heartbeats, amplifying the drama. The investigation transmission from Houston crackled over the speakers, demanding statements from all crew. Leah stood rigid in the bridge, her command slipping like sand. This is absurd, she muttered, but inside terror clawed. Years of service reduced to scandal. Zoe in engineering felt the weight crush her. I ignited this fire. Now it burns us both. Marcus's smug satisfaction was palpable. His duty, a thin veil for deeper biases rooted in his upbringing. Rebecca stepped in as an unofficial ally, gathering Zoe and Leah in her lab. You have options, she said. Document the harassment angle. Marcus's comments were discriminatory. Leah hesitated. Expose him? Ruin his career too? Moral quandaries twisted her gut. Zoe urged. We can't let fear win. But Leah's family call, now rescheduled, loomed. Her mother's voice in rehearsals. When will you give us grandkids, dear? How do I shatter their world? The interviews began via video link. Zoe went first, facing a panel of stern faces. Describe your relationship with Commander Thompson. She swallowed. Professional. With mutual respect. Lies tasted bitter. Am I protecting her or cowardice? Leah's turn was worse. Any impropriety? She denied, but her voice wavered. Post-call, she collapsed in her quarters, sobbed silent. I've betrayed myself. For what? Approval from people who don't know the real me? Crew dynamics fractured. Some sided with Marcus, citing regulations against fraternization. Others, like Elena, sympathized quietly. Whispers of queer agenda surfaced, echoing Earth's lingering prejudices despite progress. Zoe confronted Marcus again. This isn't about rules, it's about hate. He scoffed. Space is for science, not your lifestyle choices. Rage boiled. Lifestyle? As if love is optional. Amid the chaos, a personal message arrived for Leah. Her husband, sensing distance, proposed a separation. I know there's someone else. Relief flooded her, but guilt followed. He's collateral damage in my awakening. She confided in Zoe during a midnight rendezvous in the observatory. He's letting me go. But my parents. Zoe held her gaze. You deserve freedom. Their conversation delved deep. Leah's suppressed youth, crushes on girls dismissed as phases. Zoe's own journey, therapy sessions hidden from family. We're mirrors, broken by society's mold. But freedom came at a price. The investigation escalated. NASA demanded logs, psych evals. Rebecca hacked ethically, reviewing comms for bias evidence. She found Marcus's private messages, derogatory slurs about dykes in space. Proof, Zoe thought triumphantly. But using it means war. Leah debated. Submit it or let it go. Revenge isn't justice, she whispered. Yet silence meant complicity. High tension peaked during a thruster malfunction. With the station drifting slightly off orbit, Leah ordered Zoe to lead the repair team. Marcus objected. Conflict of interest. Leah snapped. She's the best. End of discussion. Outside, tethered to the hull, Zoe worked furiously, stars blurring. For her. For us. Success came but exhaustion hit. Back inside, Leah met her with a fierce hug, crew watching. Whispers intensified. Earth's response to the evidence. Marcus reprimanded, transferred off station. Victory? Bittersweet. He left with venom. You'll regret this. Leah's family call followed. Facing the hologram, she steeled herself. Mom, Dad, I'm in love. With a woman. Silence, then outrage. This is a phase. Think of our name. Disownment threats flew. Leah's heart broke. The price of truth, isolation. Zoe supported her post-call. You did it. But doubt lingered. Did I push her into this pain? Their bond strengthened but scars formed. As the station stabilized, personal storms raged. Leah questioned her choices. Career over love? Zoe pondered morality. Was outing their feelings ethical in a hostile environment? With Marcus gone, morale shifted. Some crew offered quiet support. Others distanced. Rebecca's research paper loomed. Anonymized but reflective of their saga. This could change policies, she said. Leah nodded. Sacrifice for progress? The thought comforted amid turmoil. As resupply prepped again, a new threat. Media leak. Earth tabloids buzzed. Lesbian love affair on NASA station? Leah's family fueled it, disavowing publicly. Humiliation washed over her. Betrayed by blood. Zoe's family called. Confusion, disappointment. We raised you better. Better than what? Honest. In the eye of the storm, Zoe and Leah clung together, decisions crystallizing. No turning back. The cost. Reputations tarnished, families fractured. But awakening dawned. The media frenzy hit like a comet, headlines screaming across Earth's networks. Commander's secret romance rocks Orion. Leah stared at the feed in horror, her face plastered beside Zoe's. How did it leak? Marcus. Paranoia set in. NASA's PR team scrambled, issuing statements about personal matters not affecting operations. But damage irreversible. Leah's inner voice accused. You chose this. Now pay. Zoe fielded calls from friends back home, supportive but probing. Is it true? Her father's message. Come home, fix this. Feeks. As if I'm broken. Defiance grew. She rallied Leah. We face it head on. But Leah withdrew, questioning. Was it worth it? The pain. Their arguments intensified. Raw emotions spilling. You regret us? Zoe demanded. Leah sighed. No. Just the fallout. Society's backlash amplified. Conservative groups petitioned NASA. No place for deviance in space. Progressive allies countered with support campaigns. Orion became a symbol, progress or peril. Crew divided further. Some wore rainbow pins subtly, others avoided eye contact. Elena facilitated group therapy. Addressed biases. Revelations surfaced. Hidden identities suppressed stories. We're not alone, Zoe realized. But why must we fight? A pivotal moment. Leah's demotion threat. Houston summoned her for review. Return at side. Panic gripped. Lose command? My identity? Zoe pleaded. Fight it. We're precedents. Rebecca helped draft appeals citing discrimination. Use the evidence. Leah submitted, heart pounding. Right or reckless? Waiting, they deepened connections. Late nights discussing futures. Life post-station, perhaps together on Earth. But realism intruded. Jobs at risk, families estranged. Zoe's mother messaged reconciliation attempts, laced with conditions. If you change. Change? Never. Leah's parents went silent. Ultimate rejection. The review verdict. Probation. Not demotion. Victory but conditional. No further disruptions. Relief mixed with resentment. We're on trial for loving. Marcus's transfer confirmed, but his parting shot. Anonymous tips to media. Escalating scrutiny. Personal toll mounted. Leah battled depression, questioning morality. Did I betray my vows? My duty? Zoe supported, but her own doubts surfaced. Am I selfish, dragging her through this? A heated confrontation. If it's too much, end it. Leah's response. I can't. You're my truth. As orbits continued, awakening spread. Crew members came out, small acts of solidarity. Orion transformed subtly. Inclusive policies discussed. But external pressures persisted. A protest vid from Earth. Supporters chanting for them. Heroes or villains? Zoe reflected on sacrifices. Lost privacy, strained relations. Worth it for authenticity? Leah echoed. The price of freedom, high but paid. High drama culminated in a system failure. Life support glitch. In crisis, Leah and Zoe coordinated flawlessly, saving the day. Post-event, crew applauded. Not just for skill but resilience. Bonds mended somewhat. With stability, they planned ahead. Return to Earth, face realities. Leah divorced quietly. Zoe came out fully. Families? Slow mends, perhaps. Society's judgment? Ongoing battle. Return to Earth loomed as Orion prepped for crew rotation. Leah packed, her quarters echoing emptiness. Leaving the stars, facing gravity of expectations. Zoe mirrored anxiety churning. Home. Haven or hell? Their final station days. Bittersweet. Filled with quiet affirmations. No grand gestures, just presence amid resolved chaos. Landing in Florida, media swarmed. Flashes blinded, questions assaulted. Commander, regret your choices? Leah stood tall. Love isn't regret. Zoe beside her, hand subtly brushing. United front. But inside, turmoil. Did we choose correctly? Families awaited. Leah's parents. Stiff reunion, words measured. We need time. Disappointment palpable. Zoe's. Awkward hugs, unspoken judgments. We love you but. Conditional love, cruelest cut. Careers shifted. Leah reassigned ground ops, promotion stalled. Zoe consulted privately. Expertise valued but whispers followed. Society debated. Op-eds clashed. Trailblazers versus distractions. They navigated, advocacy emerging. Speeches at conferences. Space for all identities. Personal growth. Therapy unpacked traumas. Leah's awakening. I paid dearly but gained self. Zoe's. Love demands sacrifice, mine hers. Betrayals healed slowly. Marcus's actions forgiven, not forgotten. Rebecca's paper published. Anonymized saga sparking reforms. Years blurred. Together they built life, home in California. Away from Texas shadows. Challenges persisted. Prejudices but resilience grew. Reflecting. Conflicts, choices, costs. Drama's residue. Stronger bonds, societal shifts. Was sacrificing family ties and career stability for personal truth the right choice? Or a selfish indulgence that harmed more than it helped?